Hi, hello, welcome or welcome back. I'm Tally, and today we're going to do another Top 10 Tuesday. So this week is to share 10 books that are on my summer TBR, so let's get to it. The first one is quite a chunky one. I might regret this, but it is The Sword of Kaigan by Emma Wang. This is a standalone fantasy. I think it possibly follows multiple characters through, it says, better to die sharp in war than rust for a time of peace. I specifically am not learning what this is about too much because I'm using it for a bingo prompt in the Our Fantasy bingo board, and it's a book that I know nothing about going in. So yeah, this one, top of my list, scary, but we're gonna do it. You hold me accountable. Next is another one from my Our Fantasy bingo board. I have 3 from there on my summer TBR, and this is The Knight and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This is the start of I'm saying duology, I'm presuming duology, I don't know if it is a duology, but this is the Stonewater Kingdom, and we follow, I have started it, I've read I think about 50 pages. We follow what is she? She's like someone that, she's a diviner, that's the word, a diviner. So there is a small group of diviners that are used to see people's future, and she, one of the ones we follow, ropes a knight in to helping her. At the beginning, she just is roping this knight in to helping her and the other diviners, there's like 7 of them or something, go into the local town for a festival because they're not allowed to leave the church. And her and this knight immediately, from the moment they meet, have a bit of a butting head situation, but she feels like she can trust him to take her and the other diviners to the festival. But I think the 2 of them end up on a quest together. I'm very excited. I really enjoyed One Dark Window by this author, and I put together a huge list of night books that I wanted to read. I think it was last year, and this was on it, and I really need to make my way through that list. So yeah, and I love this little butterfly, so pretty. I also shouldn't have done, but I saw this version in the works, and I picked it up, the paperback version, and it has like the knight at the bottom. Yeah, it has the knight at the bottom. I don't know if you can pick that up, and Bartholomew, who is like a gargoyle. I, as a general rule, am not a huge fan of sprayed edge on paperback, so don't tend to pick them up. But something about this called to me, so yeah. And the final one that's on my summer TBR that is also on my book bingo is the second book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. This is Carl's Doomsday Scenario. This is book 2. I also have book 3 and 4 waiting for me, and I need to pick up the rest. I'm obsessed with book 1, and I know I'm going to be obsessed with this series, so I need to do it. This is a series that I am annotating though, so I'm taking my time with it. This will be a great summer read, I think. So talking of sprayed edges on paperbacks, this is another one I got from the works. I've been eyeing up this book, and I thought I don't know, it caught my attention, even though it's paperback with sprayed edges, which as I said, I'd rarely go for. But this is Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. This is a dark academia romantasy, and it's a YA as well. So I am very excited to jump into this. It's set at an academy, which is always a favourite of mine. And this particular academy is at the edge of the afterlife. So possibly there's like some necromancy in it. I don't know, but I'm very much looking forward to this. And I think it's such a beautiful cover. I really liked the hardback cover as well, because it's larger and it gives the beautiful imagery room to like breathe. If I enjoy this, I will definitely source a hardback copy. Then we have I've done these in like no particular order, they're just kind of a mess of genres, to be honest. But then we have a romance. Then we have Under Lock and Key by Lana Ferguson. I thought this was a just like a generic romance set in Scotland, I presumed, and this was entirely my assumptions, I presumed that this was I don't know, an American woman coming to Scotland, falling in love. I recently read Royal Summer, which had like the same plot line, except the man she fell in love with was the prince. But apart from that, but I've heard people talking about the male love interest being some sort of shifter, like, look, he's like from the lock. I don't know, but if this is monster romance, it's bumping right up because I need to read it because that sounds really fun. And if it is, I love how it's tricking people. Except if I hated monster romance and I got tricked, I wouldn't like that. Now we have a few that I don't physically own. So we have A Sea of Song and Sirens by Whit Stainfield. And a general rule for me is I don't tend to know, by the time books get put onto my TBR, I don't know much about them. So when they join my shelves, or like join my, well, I guess when they join my TBR, I know about them to put them on my TBR. But by the time I get to the point that I'm aiming to read them, I've hopefully forgotten enough that I can go in a bit more blind. So this one is a fantasy romance, and our female main character is a mermaid or siren, and she drowns men. We support women's wrongs, you know. One man in particular, I think as she's drowning him, she falls for him and then he sells her out or something. I don't know, it's the first in the series. I'm looking forward to it, and the cover was what caught my attention and made me look into it in the first place, so props on this cover. Then we have Daggermouth by H.M. Wolf. I have been dying to read this. I really need to get a physical copy. I've probably left it too late now to pick up one of the indie copies. But I do have it on my Kindle. And this is a dark dystopian romance. And I read at least one of these recently. I read Beneath by Ariel Sullivan. And I think dystopian romance is something I'm quite enjoying and really getting into. And I've only heard amazing things about Daggermouth. It got picked up so quickly to be traditionally published, so it must have had a big lot of love for that to happen. And yeah, looking forward to that one. Then we have The Secret World of Briar Rose by Cindy Pham. This is another one that came with these edges. I did not ask for them. It was like the only edition Waterstones sold. I don't know if that's a Waterstones exclusive, they sprayed edges. I'm gonna be so for real. I appreciate all cover artists, but the US cover of this, that's the cover I wanted. I did experience a lot of disappointment when I found out that that cover was not universal, and we were just getting the tech. This is by Booktuber Cindy Pham, and this is a sapphic Sleeping Beauty retelling that allowed her to just kind of fill out her depression a bit. So I think it's going to be a top tier book, basically. We then have Wings of Starlight by Alison Saft. So I've just moved something and now there's cat fur flying around everywhere. So this is a fantasy romance with fairies, but fairies like with wings, like fairies, not fae, if that makes sense. And yeah, it's a star-crossed romance between like two realms. I'm looking forward to this. It looks so cute, and I think it's just going to be the perfect like fluffy, fun summer read. And then finally I have The Resurrectionist by A. Ray Dunlap. So this is a queer historical mystery, and it's been comped to Anatomy, a love story, which is like a ride or die book for me. I absolutely love that kind of vibe. It's like Victorian setting, dark academia, women trying to learn about the fields that are typically blocked off for women because of the time period. I like that in my books. I like that. And this one is set in the same time period. It's also set in Edinburgh. I think I'm gonna love it. I think it's gonna be a 10 out of 10, and I'm so excited. Yeah, I don't actually know. I haven't read that yet because I believe it came out last year. So that was my quick rapid fire 10 books on my summer TBR. I used to try and do these seasonal TBRs and stick to 10, so this was a great way to kickstart doing that again. Are any of these books on your TBR? Let me know in the comments, or let me know any books you are dying to get to this summer. Whilst you're down there, give me a like and subscribe, and I'll leave linked in the description where to find the upcoming top 10 Tuesday prompts. Thanks for joining me today, friends. Bye.